On the 9th of September, Israeli warplanes struck at Doha, the capital of Qatar. Qatar is now the 6th country that Israel has struck since the October 7th attacks by Hamas in 2023. That's right. In the last 2 years, Israeli jets have struck at 6 countries in and around Israel. Now, the interesting thing here is that Qatar is 1700 kilometers away from Israel. Means that the Israeli jets, Israeli warplanes had to travel roughly the distance it is between Delhi and Bengaluru to carry out this attack. But that's no surprise, because in the last 2 years, Israeli Air Force jets have traveled extraordinary distances to strike at their enemies. Just a few months back, they struck at Iran, right here, 1500 kilometers away from Israel. And a few months ago, they struck at Houthi rebels here in Yemen, 2200 kilometers away. Well, Israel has had a history of carrying out extraordinary special operations missions. Its pilots have flown very long distances to rescue Israelis in trouble, to carry out their national strategic objectives. In 1976, that's almost 50 years ago, Israeli cargo planes flew 4,000 kilometers south into Africa, the capital of Uganda, into Entebbe International Airport, where they rescued more than 100 Israeli hostages that had been held captive. Now, in 2025 as well, Israel's Air Force remains as deadly as it was in the past. And if you look at it, it has the F-35 Lightning II, which is a stealth aircraft that Israel bought a couple of years back. It has the F-15 Eagle, and of course, it has the F-16 Falcon as well. But what Israel has done is it has modified these aircraft. They've given them new electronics, it's given them new C4ISR systems, it's given them new air-to-ground munitions. It's customized all of these aircraft to a point where they're almost indistinguishable from the originals. In fact, the F-35 Adir, which the Israelis call it, which is an Israeli Air Force service, is supposed to be one of the most potent F-35s in the world. It's been customized by the Israelis, as is the case with the F-35 fighter bomber, and of course the F-16, which the Israelis call the Sufa. The Sufa, the Ram, and the Adir, these are all names given to Israeli aircraft modified American fighting platforms. But there are several other reasons for the ability of Israel to strike its enemies very far away from its home shores, and that's primarily to do with the kind of training that Israeli Air Force pilots are given. Some of the best Israeli pilots are chosen to fly these missions. These are extended range combat missions, and they are rehearsed. They are prepared for several years before the actual missions are flown. They have a range of contingencies, like for instance, they've taken out nuclear reactors in Syria, they've taken out nuclear reactors in Iraq, and all of these missions they continue to practice over several years. And the other reason that they're able to do all of this is the fact that most of the Arab countries in and around Israel have extremely weak air forces. They've not invested in their air forces in a way that Israel has. And Israel, if you can see, is a country that's very, very tiny. It's a country the size of the Indian state of Manipur. That's right, just about 22,000 square kilometers. And at its widest point, it is the distance, it is less than the distance between Mumbai and Pune. That's how small Israel is. And to compensate for the lack of geographical depth, Israel has built up a world-class air force. It's one of the most powerful air forces, not just in the region, but in the world. And it has the ability to strike at its enemies all around. Now, the Qatari mission didn't go off very well. They flew extended ranges. They struck at that housing complex in Doha. They seem to have missed their targets. But you can be sure about the Israeli Air Force. If there's one thing that you can be sure about, they will be back for another mission. And the kind of training that the Israeli Air Force has been able to carry out, the kind of missions that they've practiced for, and the kind of scenarios that they have prepared for, all comes to play now. And this is what we've been seeing in the last 2 years. Israeli warplanes have, of course, struck at Syria. They've destroyed Syria's navy, Syria's air force. After the fall of the House of Assad, they've struck at Lebanon here. They've gone into Beirut and they've assassinated Hassan Nasrallah. They've taken out Hezbollah targets. And of course, they've struck way beyond their geographical borders, striking as far as Iran and, as we just heard, Qatar, and of course Yemen, which is far down south, more than 2,000 kilometers. So you have to really give it to the Israeli Air Force, to the one Air Force in the world that actually embodies the true meaning of offensive air power.